Hey preschool, I'm back here with Days with Frog and Toad. We learned about how putting things off till the next day doesn't help you for the next day, and if you do things you need to this day, you'll have more time for tomorrow. Well, today we are going to read the story called The Kite. How many of you have ever flown a kite outside? I have tried. I haven't always been very successful, but it's been a couple years ago, and I live out in the country, and Miss Amanda and I, and my niece Jocelyn, I think, and maybe my nephew Devin, I forget, we went down over the hill out at my house, and we took a kite out there, and we were trying our best to get that kite to go up in the air. And it reminds me of this story that I'm going to read you about Toad and Frog and their kite. It's called The Kite. Frog and Toad went out to fly a kite. They went to a large meadow where the wind was strong, and we need wind to fly a kite, right?
Our kite will fly up and up,
said Frog.
It will fly all the way up to the top of the sky.
Toad, said Frog.
I will hold the ball of string, and you hold the kite and run.
When we tried to fly our kite, our niece Jocelyn had to be the runner because she was fastest. Well, Toad, see the picture here. Toad ran across the meadow. He ran as fast as his short little legs could carry him, and the kite went up in the air, and it fell to the ground with a bump. Toad heard laughter. 3 robins were sitting in a bush.
That kite will not fly,
said the robins.
You might as well give up.
Toad ran back to Frog.
Frog,
said Toad,
this kite will not fly. I give up. We must make a second try,
said Frog.
Wave the kite over your head. Perhaps that will make it fly.
Toad ran back across the meadow. He waved the kite over his head. The kite went up in the air and then fell down with a thud.
What a joke, said the robins. That kite will never get off the ground.
Toad ran back to Frog.
This kite is a joke, he said. It will never get off the ground. We have to make a third try, said Frog. Wave the kite over your head and jump up and down. Perhaps that will make it fly.
So Toad ran across the meadow again. He waved the kite over his head and he jumped up and down. The kite went up in the air and crashed into the grass.
That kite is junk,
said the robins.
Throw it away and go home.
Toad ran back to Frog.
This kite is junk, he said. I think we should throw it away and go home. Toad, said Frog, we need one more try. Wave the kite over your head, jump up and down, and shout, up, kite, up.
Toad ran across the meadow. He waved the kite over his head. He jumped up and down, and he shouted,
up, kite, up.
The kite flew up into the air, and it climbed higher and higher Look how high that kite has gone.
We did it! Yes, said Frog. If a running try did not work, and a running and a waving try did not work, and a running, waving, and jumping try did not work, I knew that a running, waving, jumping, and shouting try just had to work.
The robins flew out of the bush, but they could not fly as high as the kite. Frog and Toad sat and watched their kite. It seemed to be flying way up at the very top of the sky. The end.